welcome back to your third episode of Truth Bombs by Biohack'Her. We are so honored and blessed today to be talking about the truth behind fitness goals as a woman specifically. And no better person to do this with us is Heather. And Heather is the founder and CEO of a cutting edge, brand new to you, that you will have exclusive access to app and visionary and well-being entrepreneur. So Heather, would you like to welcome yourself in and tell us your story?
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for having me. This is such an honor. And my story goes way, way back from high school, really, when my love for fitness, athletics, movement began. But a condensed story is I first really fell in love with leading fitness classes, taking fitness classes when I was in hair school. And I would go and attend these classes. And every time I left, I just remember thinking, I feel like Superwoman. I feel like I could crush everything. No matter what I had going on in my life, no matter how I was feeling prior, I always felt just elevated to an entirely new level. And so after I experienced that feeling many times, I knew this was my calling and something that I wanted to pay forward to help other people experience. So I stopped everything what I was doing, and I went to fitness school. And I've, in the last 15 years, had a lot of different roles in the fitness industry, from trainer, master trainer, a fitness educator, gym owner. And then I've done a lot of virtual classes, and then recently came up with my Commit 365 app to continue to share my passion and have an easy access for people to do the workouts and learn a little bit more on how they can implement movement seamlessly into their day.
Oh my gosh, Heather, I remember the first time I did a class with you. It was like 4.5 years ago. We were at a health and well-being conference in, I think it was like Nashville, and we were outside as a group and we were doing this fitness class. And I was like, okay, first of all, when someone's like energy is intrinsic, where it's not just like this like BS trying to like motivate people. And one of the things that I really loved about you was that you were motivating, but you weren't pushing people into injury. And I really respect that. I mean, I come from a background where I ran a Muay Thai gym and I saw professional fighters having injuries all the time. And for myself as a woman, I recognized that pushing my body past those limits so often, it was really affecting even my mental well-being. And people always say that like fitness is for your mental health and physical health, but I was feeling worse, truly. And so when I mean, I've been waiting for this moment for you to launch something new for a while, but when you said you were launching 365 and that this was going to be different, because you were really attaching an intention and integrity to this messaging in this app so that people could really incorporate fitness into their lifestyle without it being a this or that. It was more about a this and that. And so I would love to know, like, what was the reason, what was the message on your heart to create Commit 365? Because I know that it's way bigger than just teaching people how to exercise.
Absolutely. You nailed it on the head. And I think even you sharing what you just shared, I relate to that on so many levels, because throughout my career and just throughout my own personal journey, my training style has varied so much. And really my reasoning for movement has varied so much. So I look back at my early days personally, and then how I was training was a lot more of a like cutthroat, like let's go, high intensity. And the same thing, I look back and now realize how inflamed I was and how I didn't feel really great, to be honest. And I always felt like I needed to go harder or push myself beyond my levels of what I should. And then, throughout experience and being in the industry, I've just learned through experience really on how good our bodies are meant to feel and how we can be very intuitive with that movement. It does not need to be this high intensity, kick our butt workout to reap the benefits. And actually that can be counterproductive in ways when we're doing that, like I was. So Commit 365, what that represents is committing 365 days to intentionally move our body. That is the least we could do for this gift that we've been given. And we all know we feel so much better in every area of our life. Like, can't we agree? Every single area of our life improves drastically when we're making that intentional effort for that. And so Commit 365 is maybe going to be a 5-minute workout one day and just focusing on stretching and mobility, just some little movement, 10 minutes, whatever you can make work. And sometimes you might have a little more time and a little more energy. Maybe with your hormones or around your cycle, you're feeling a little bit different and wanting to work out or move your body differently. So within the app, people can really customize and go intuitively with what they are feeling. They can adjust their weights on, again, what they're feeling, but it's just having access to doing that. And maybe some days it's just going out for a walk. It can be literally anything, but that movement is the important thing. And I think also now more than ever, people feel like they are busy. Their time is strapped. Sometimes that's, oh my gosh, I'd have to wake up at this time to work out or to get to the gym and get back and get kids out the door or wherever they're heading. So having something that can just be a quick press and play, 15 minutes, you feel better, you show up better for the people in your life, you're more productive. It just benefits everything. So that was really my vision behind creating it.
Can you go a little deeper into what something that you just said? We always hear about high intensity, and I've noticed that a lot of the times, we love to move our body, but when we're looking for a specific goal, especially as women, why do we do this? We always think more is better. And so you talked about that, how like sometimes we don't have to train as hard to reap the benefits. And I know for you, you've gone through many different seasons, from like professional fitness competition to like pregnancy to post-pregnancy to running businesses. And it's like, what is your view on people, and especially women, who feel that they need to go harder for those results?
Yeah, I feel like there's definitely a time and a place, and there's still times I love to do that high intensity, but again, I really listen to what my body's feeling, where I'm at. If I'm stressed and tired and have a lot, that's just for me not a good time. My body doesn't respond well. I feel a lot more inflamed and bogged down. So then incorporating lighter movements, focusing more on time under tension, slowing down the movements, we can gain so much benefit from that. And really, especially, I mean, for men and women, but especially for women, focusing on building muscle and building strength. And that can be done numerous different ways. Again, even just using our own body weight. I just put together a 12-week beginner program, and a lot of the movements are just very slow, controlled, foundational movements, but focusing on time under tension. And I will tell you, there were times, even with those, my muscles were on fire. And, there's so much benefit to building that muscle. But a lot of times when people are looking at, leaning out or burning fat, if we can gain muscle, we will reap the benefits of that. As a result of that, the more muscle we have on our body, the more fat we burn at rest. So it doesn't have to be all of these high intensity workouts. You can really focus on slow, controlled movements, intentional with your movement. I in my videos also, I talk a lot about muscle mind connection. So if you are just even visualizing your muscle doing the work, using your breath, using your mind and your body together, it's incredible what you can experience. And I think I relate this to life so much as well. We can just go through the motions and we'll, be fine and maybe get some results. But if we're intentional and we're focusing on what we're doing and why we're doing it, we are going to get such better results. So the same goes back when we are moving our body in any way. So yeah, there's a lot of benefits to all those types of movements and not feeling like we just have to go hard.
So I have a question specifically about the app. Oh, sorry, didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
So I am someone who, I've tried the gym memberships. It doesn't work for me. I got 3 kids. I don't like getting out of the house if I don't have to, right? Especially during my work day, right? So for me, I love doing like at home, put it on the screen, do it with the kids sometimes, so on and so forth. But one of my biggest things that is very hard for me with certain apps, I know Jen loves a certain app, but for me, it's hard to navigate through. So can you tell us a little bit about your app? When to know, like, for example, when are you going to know when to do those workouts? Like when you're in specific phases, like the nurture phase. Can you give us the layout of the app?
Yeah, so the app has a variety of different categories. So people can pick and choose if they want to focus on upper body strength, lower body strength, full body strength, core strength. A lot of those could be done with no weights or light weights. So that's nice too, because people don't need a huge collection of equipment. And then there's commit band burners. And so that's just implementing a small resistance band. Again, a great way to focus on that muscle mind connection, really engaging through the muscles, something that people can do traveling, outside, at home, just a simple piece of equipment that you can purchase at a very low cost. And then there is Commit Express, which is 15 minutes or less. And when you said with kids, that was a thing for me. I look at even in my journey of being professional or doing, high-end fitness competitions, to then being a mom and nursing and trying to navigate just all these different seasons. My training style, my time, my energy at that time of my life compared to, just a few years ago was completely different. And I understood where a lot of people were previously, going, oh, that's why they were so tired, or that's why they didn't think they had time to work out. I feel that now, I can relate. So that was really important for me to put together the Commit Express workout, where it's 15 minutes. If your kids are still sleeping before school, you can still plug and play, get 15 minutes in, where at least you feel like you got some movement in, you did something good for your body and your mind to start your day or whenever you're fitting it in. So that's a little bit of the layout. And then the shortest workout, I think, is 6 minutes. It's just a quick little shoulder burner just to get your muscles working and warm. And then they go up to the 35-45 minute mark for more of a full body strength where you'll hit a little bit of everything. So then people have the option. They can pick and choose what they're looking for that day. And yeah.
Amazing. I love it. I love it. I have one other question.
Yes.
So again, I'm not as experienced as you guys are in the fitness aspect. Like I said, I just plug into whatever I find, like, oh, that's good, you know? So I'm so excited. But one of the things I keep hearing, and maybe some of the viewers like aren't as experienced as they are, is can you elaborate a little bit? Everyone's like, you have to breathe through your workouts. Like, I found myself when I was working out, I was like holding my breath when I was lifting weights. So I didn't know that until recently. So, and I feel like that's changed my whole dynamic of like my muscles and everything. Can you elaborate why that's important and how you should be doing it?
Absolutely. And that goes back to that muscle mind connection, using your mind and your body together to enhance the results in the movements. That is a very common thing. I find myself when I'm in the app doing the classes or when I'm teaching live classes, I'm constantly reminding people to use their breath. And then when they're doing certain movements, use their breath in a certain way. So when we're on the contraction phase, essentially, we want to exhale. So if we're doing a bicep curl, we're going to exhale as we curl up. If we're doing a squat, when we're at the bottom of the squat, we exhale when we come in. So it helps us to engage everything a little bit tighter. And then we lower down, we inhale, pause, exhale, come back up, squeeze. And so utilizing our breath when we are doing, essentially both phases are working phase, but when we're doing the contraction or the concentric movement.
Wow. I've been doing this all wrong.
Even when people are doing planks, that's a big one because you're engaged. You know, it's working so many different muscles. You're holding this plank engaged. A lot of times that's where people will hold their breath. They'll start to get lightheaded. So just reminding yourself to use that breath. And again, be very intentional with the breath. Even on strength training, I make it audible. So when I'm lifting, I'm using my breath, I'm using my body and my muscles as I'm isolating it to reap the most benefits. So the breath is very powerful. As we know, we've all talked a lot about breath work and how important using our breath is. So that's a really good question.
Yeah. I can't believe I've been doing it wrong the whole time.
That's such a good question. It's such a good question. It brings, like you said, intention back into the movement. And, you know, before we ask you a couple more things about the app, because it is launching January 1st. So I just would love to know, Heather, this is a question that comes up a lot to me. It's like, especially for busy moms or women that are on the go and they have an option of either sleeping that extra half hour or working out for half an hour. What is more important? And I know this isn't like a one size fits all, but like, what would it, from your perspective, what would you say?
It's a really tough question. That's something I've battled throughout the years as well. But I think sleep is number one. Our body in sleep is so important as well, especially when we're doing more workouts and movement, because our body needs to recover, needs to repair. That is what we're doing when we're resting. We're allowing our body that time. So I think for longevity and really helping our body in all ways, the sleep, I would say. But there's just a fine line. We all know the difference of like, oh, I just want to stay in bed because I'm comfortable, or I really do need this rest. So I think there's a fine line of personal preference on, you know, what you're feeling and adjusting from there. So both are important, but I would say sleep if I had to choose. Absolutely.
Wow, absolutely amazing. Well, Heather, I appreciate you so much, and I know Jen does too. And I am so looking forward to the app. I mean, you just gave everyone so much knowledge. I hope everyone's breathing through their exercises the proper way now, right? And down below in the show notes, we're going to link your Instagram, your Facebook. We're going to have the app set up. And just like Jen said, if you're listening to this past the pre-launch, no worries at all. We're going to have everything linked down in the show notes.
What is the pricing? What can people get excited about? Because we want people to like commit $365 for 2024.
Yes.
So commit 365, it's something I wanted to be of immense value, so much more value than what you are paying. So I wanted the value, the affordability, the convenience, the accessibility, the functionality, all of the things, and packaging it together. There is a monthly breakdown of $14.99 per month. And if you pay a year in advance, it's $99. It breaks down to about $825 per month. So I wanted it to be something that was so affordable for people to have this guidance and support. And it's something, again, they can do at home, at the gym, but having somebody guide you and motivate you and have something that you can just plug and play I wanted it to be, covering all those areas and just to be affordable. And with the pre-launch, it will be available and give the entire end of 2023 free. So that will be shared on the 21st of December. And then, so the 7-day free trial goes always. So if you get on the pre-launch, you get the end of 2023 free. You'll get the link sent to you. And then if you join at any time, you have the option. You can do the monthly $14.99 or do the annual. You'll always get the 7-day free trial, which is great. You can cancel at any time. And then a really cool option as well, if you refer 3 friends that also download the app and get started, you get 3 months free. If you refer 6 friends, you get 6 months free. So kind of a fun way to have accountability partners with your friends, and then it's free. It's literally no charge. But sometimes when we don't pay for stuff, we lose the value of what it is. So don't let that happen. If you are referring friends, I hope you continue to see the value and to use it. And I wanted to add one other thing as well. I had actually pivoted with another app company I was working for where I wanted to house commit 365. This app, I am ecstatic about this additional feature. It's not only access to my app. You'll register there, you'll get into my app. You are also able to search over 1,000 other fitness trainer apps. There are tons. My son loves to do boxing combo moves. There's tons of boxing coaches. If you want to do a yoga program, if you want to do a gym specific program, some of the things that I might not offer, and just to add variety, you have access to all of that with no additional charge. It is truly incredible. I've used so many of the other creators' content, and I've loved that. So I'm excited about that. And I wanted to add also a couple of the features that are really great are the ability to schedule your workouts. So within the app, I speak on this because you can go in and you could schedule out on Sunday, say, okay, this week, Monday, I'm going to do this full body strength. You just schedule it. It will alert you on your phone as a reminder. And that's a really important thing to make sure that we're scheduling that intentional time in, because as we all know, we're busy. And if we don't schedule it in, it's not going to happen. So when I saw that feature was part of the app place, I was like, okay, I love this. Able to favorite workouts. So if you do one and you know, hey, I want to come back to this one and be able to find it easy, you can just go to your favorites folder. All of the ones that you have favorited will be found there. And then you can also take progress pictures right within the app. You can log. So if you want to log what you utilized for weights, which I would recommend, because again, if we're not tracking it, we have no way to gauge that progress or see that change. So tracking what you use for weights, the next time you come back, maybe you notice, hey, I could go a little heavier, or you can make notes for yourself. So it's all stored right there within you. So there's some really helpful features and valuable features. And then it will continue to evolve as well. So there's going to be additional categories just covering more wellness. I would love to have you ladies on there and talk about some biohacking, just other additional support tools, because the more things that we can learn and trial and error with our own body and experience, the better we're going to be. So yeah, there's some fun added things.
Let's actually put some of those features in the show notes, because I will say that I am like a fitness junkie. I have so many fitness apps on the go, and this is something very unique, you guys. You don't usually, like, this is more than just a fitness app. I'm learning this right now, Heather. This is like your fitness buddy on the go. And if you're someone like myself, if you're a high performance woman and you're traveling a lot, like I'm in a hotel room right now, like I am constantly using my phone for workouts. And so the fact that I can track it no matter where I am, this is a big bonus, because usually I use like my notes section. So Heather, you've gone above and beyond, making this more accessible for people to do fitness on the go and at home. And the price point is like blowing my mind. I'm signing up for a year. I'm so excited. And thank you. Because this is like 20 years of you being in the fitness industry to create this app. Like you didn't just like wake up one day and be like, I'm going to create this app. This is like tried, tested, and true.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And you've thought of everything. And you've thought of everything because you've been on every aspect. That's what's really nice. You've covered every aspect. Me and Jen are very different, right? Very different lives, but you have covered and gone through every aspect of it. So you've thought of it all. So I appreciate you so, so much.
Thank you. I appreciate you ladies so much as well. Thank you
so
for
much.
having me.
Thank you.
Commit 365.
At 365. Okay.